Hi class, this is JilMac. I'm the instructor for the Community College of Vermont, for Windham Regional Career Center, and for different companies and individuals. Students know that anything in this video, if they don't understand, they can just give me a call. So today I'm going to be going over favicons. So let's bring up our web development class. This could be a web development class, or it could be a Google class, or it could be an HTML class, all kinds of different ones. But today we'll work on web development. And I want to just go out to students. So as you can see up at the top of my web browser, I have different tabs open. And the tabs for my mailbox, my inbox, has a little M by it, and that's the favicon. And my websites has a little heart with a cow inside of it. My Google websites has a little red arrow, and other Google sites just kind of have this website icon that has a header and navigation. And as I add tabs, and I'm just going to keep adding tabs, the tabs get smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's really hard to know what web page you're on. But if you see a favicon, like anytime I want to go back to my mail, I just look for this M. I can also move my tabs so that if mail is in the middle of them, I can quickly see it. I can also see my little heart icon. And all of these are called favicons so that you can easily, so I'm just going to go through and remove these, so that you can easily find the web page when you have multiple tabs open on a computer. And that you can always move your tabs around. So I'm just going to close these new tabs that I created. Okay. And now what I want to do is I want to go back to our web development. And I want to bring you down to handouts. So if we go to the handouts page, and depending on what class I'm setting up, I'm going to have different handouts. But for this class, in assignment 3, I have this document called Favicons Creating. And I'm just going to view it, because you can view this on a phone or a tablet or a computer to look at it. And so this is my one for creating favicons. Now, it hasn't changed much since 2009 when I started teaching it. So that's almost 7 years ago. Favicons have been around. And you might not have even noticed them. But that is something that you can add to a web page. So sometimes you'll see my favicon with a purple heart with the word Jill in it. But this document has information on the link if you wanted to put it inside an HTML site. And it also has some of the links if you're going to go out and search for the latest, greatest favicon generator. So I'm just going to block copy this word favicon generator. And I'm going to copy it. And now we're going to open Google. And I'm just going to type in favicon generator. Oops, I didn't want to do that. And I'm just going to type in favicon, F-A-V-I-C-O-N, generator. And there are many generators. There's generators to create graphics, as like favicon. There's generators to create menus, to create links and things. And this is just one of many. So if we look at the first favicon, this is a favicon and app generator, app icon generator. So if I were to put in a file, and I'm going to choose a file, and I'm going to go out to my pictures, and I'm going to go into JilMac, and I'm going to choose an image. So I want to go to my large icons, and I'm going to grab just my face icon. I have a little teeny face icon. Here's a face icon. So I'm going to open that. And once it grabs the file, I can create a favicon. And it wants you to retweet and all of that. It wants you to publicize it. So this is what the favicon looks like. And I can download the generated favicon. It also shows me how to include the link. And let me blow this up so you can see the code a little bit more. For those of you who want to take this icon and they want to put it on a web page in HTML, these are all of them. And notice how this is getting a ping. So this is going to be an icon in a particular size. These are all the different sizes of the icon. Because when you unzip this file, it unzips more than just the favicon. It unzips all different size PNG files so that you can use them for, say, the clickable links that I showed you in the last video. Okay, but if I want to download this generated favicon, I can download it. It downloads it in a zip file. And when I open the zip file, and I'll bring that over, you see that I have all these PNG files. And where is my favicon file? Here's my favicon file. It's an ICON file. So this is just the one file that I need. So I'm going to drag this over to my JilMac directory. And I'm going to keep both files. All right. So I didn't need any of these other JPEGs, but if I wanted to, I could just open it. And if I bring that over, you see that that's just a very small icon. So that's how you can make small icons if you wanted to use them in the clickable links section. I only want the favicon, so I'm going to close this out. And I'm going to go back. So this one created a favicon and little graphics. Here's another one from Dynamic Drive. And Dynamic Drive, this is a little bit too big, so let me make it smaller. Tells me to choose a file, but it's also telling me that I have to keep track of how big that file is. That if it's over 150 kilobytes, we're not going to be able to do it. So I can choose a file, and I'm going to choose the same file that I chose before. Go down to my sketch small. And how do you know how big it is? If you cursor over it, it will tell you the size. This one happens to be 15.6 kilobytes. So it brings it in, and now if I want to create the favicon, it will create it, and it shows you the favicon. So this one is pretty light. And so you may want to choose a different file. Suppose I want to choose a different file and I want that darker image. Here's a darker sketch. And now I want to create that favicon again. When I do, it shows me a darker little face. And I could download that favicon. Now notice when it downloads it, because I've been testing and doing favicons for years, in my download file, there happens to be 20 of them. So this particular one is going to be favicon 20. When I upload it, I'm going to have to rename it to just favicon.ico. And I'll show you that. So you have lots of different ways to create favicons. And some people like to, let's see if this is the one. We can create it for all the different browsers. And here, Favicon Ico Generator. This one you can draw your own. You know, if you wanted to draw a J, now that's not a very good J, but it shows you here what it's drawing. If I were to put a big underline under it, you're going to see that underline start appearing. Let's see if I can make that a little bit bigger. And if I wanted to change the color of that favicon, I could come over to the color link and maybe I could grab a bright orange. So now I have an orange in here, and if I put a couple of orange lines on this and I scroll down, now you start to see the orange line underneath this. So you can draw your own, and anything with these lines through it is transparent. So this is a nice transparent one. Sometimes I like to import a file and erase some of them. I can import a file. Suppose I import that file. I'm going to choose it, and I'll choose that face that I was using. Here's a face one. And let's see if it imports okay. So let's upload it. I'm going to shrink it to make sure that it works in the icon. And here's my face. Now it doesn't look like much because it isn't. If I want to make something transparent, I'm going to have to click on the transparent, and then I could erase all of this around it. So when I look at it, I don't see that kind of background color. And now as I look at it, this is what that favicon looks like. And I might want to just erase a little bit more. And remember, it's making a very, very small favicon. I could download this favicon, and this is going to be favicon 21. And it kind of shows you the difference between the favicons, and you can choose. So you want to have something that when people look at it, they kind of recognize it. All right, so now that we have our different favicons, and we've generated them and we've downloaded them, now let's put one into our, first I'm going to put it, so that's how I've generated it and downloaded it. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to create another video for how do you take this favicon, and which the favicon is now in our downloads file. So if we wanted to sort it by date modified, here's the different favicons that I have downloaded, plus all of the ones in my zip file. So if I want to copy this one and I want to put it in my my download directory, I could put it in there. I could say paste, and it's going to ask me, I want to keep both copies. So now I have these three favicons. They're all the same. I'm thinking I like the number 21 better than the 21 or the 22, since they got a little distorted. I didn't use the cleanest one that I could have, like my heart with a cow or something. But that's the one I'm going to use in the next video. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.